Hey guys, getting my sound together. Hey Deacon, hey Marie, how you guys doing? one second. So, hold on, let me kill that backing track. So when you're picking string gauge, there's no such thing as like good string gauge. It depends on how you're hitting the strings, right? So it depends on the real relationship is between pick thickness, picking angle, and string gauge. You can't answer. You get a thick sound with a thin string by rotating the pick, or with a very thick string too, with a thinner pick. So if you're using kind of normal picks, like 11s with like a 1 point something millimeter pick is a pretty sweet spot. You can play a really thin string with a really hard pick, or a really thick string with a really light pick. It's kind of like the relationship with a saxophone player between the opening in the mouthpiece and the reed, right? Because you have something that's vibrating, a reed or a string, and then you have you control basically how hard you're hitting it. So if you have something that's moving, not so much, like in a thin pattern, meaning like a thick string, then you want to hit it lighter. Yeah. Kolkata, India. Cool. So yeah, I wonder how they get away with. Yeah, when you're playing like Benson, you do control the strings. It's like that kind of angle when you're cuffing the pick. That's a good example of when you need a medium pick. If you do it with like a thick one, you get that thud on every. Right? It doesn't sound like anything. But if I get a thinner pick, let me get one. So here's a Fender medium, right? Instead of the one I play, which is a 1.5, this is kind of like a 1 millimeter. So now with this angle, you get this really nice stringy sound, right? Like maybe more reminiscent of Benson, and with my pick, right? It's too. But I don't play with that angle. I play straight on, so I get a nice sound. You can also use a jazz pick, right? Like with a tip, which I hate, but that gives you like a plink sound, a thin sound, but a plinky one. No matter, you get that attack no matter how you angle it. You can angle it up, right, or angle it straight. It doesn't change the sound because everything's culminating at the tip. So there's a lot of considerations, is the point. But you got to think about it. Just it's not even. It's like common sense physics, right? Common sense engineering. Just think about the thing you're trying to move and the angle you're hitting it and what kind of sound it makes.
Loan Depot, because we were confident we could deliver.
This is, yeah.
To individuals and families.
All right. So. Thank you, Dr. Smith X. Hey, Mark. Thanks, Luis. Facebook people, you guys should really migrate to YouTube. I see there's a lot of you today. YouTube.com/Marbin Music. It's there right now with a nicer picture and a smoother thing, and not all of your friends shouting about their fucking day at, picnics and showing you pictures of puppies. In your opinion, what's your opinion on gangster rap? I did grow up in some NWA. That was big. That was big where I'm from. Make sure you put your PayPal below because it takes less of a percentage. I didn't put my PayPal below. It's PayPal.me/Marbin Music if you guys are curious. Do folks use compression with these jazz guitars? You could. I mean, there's no real reason to, unless your touch sucks. And if your touch sucks, it's better to work on your touch. You never want to use compression to adjust the way your instrument feels. You want to do that with other things. Like a pick is basically a compressor. You know what I mean? Like a thin pick is a compressor. Or a tip, a sharp tip, on your pick is a compressor too. It makes the force that you apply, but it's a physical compressor. You really want to address in the way you're using your hand. The way I'm setting it up is to have as much variability as possible, to where there's the biggest amount of difference and you need the most control to create an even sound. Like if I hit it twice, it's really not gonna come out the same twice. But a guy like Joe Bonamassa plays with like one of those jazz threes, and no matter how he's touching it with his right hand, he gets the exact same sound. So you got to be smart. You got to understand what the simple things about guitars do, and you got to choose what you're going for. Again, the problem with a compressor is just that, it creates a situation where you have a ceiling that if you're hitting that chord hard, it's not going to expand. So, Connecticut. What's up, Luis? Malta. I want to go to Malta, Philip. Some people do Cash App. Yeah. Yeah. So just the tip. It's okay. Hey, Basil and Basil. Okay, let's see. Somebody asked, 10 months into learning guitar, just can't get used to a pick. Don't play a pick. Don't even have to play guitar. Do whatever you want. Be happy. Let's see. Guitar is godly awesome. This guitar is not bad. I like it. Thanks, Neil. Appreciate you guys. What area of the country are you starting the backyard tour? We're starting in Cincinnati, and we're going south. Let's see. We should go old school and send in checks. Fuck yeah. Dealing with that kind of thing on Fruity Loops. They still make Fruity Loops? Jesus Christ. I thought that was like in the 90s when you wanted to make a trance for the first time you and your friends did some acid. I didn't realize that's still a thing. Jesus. All right, how about a blues? Everybody likes the blues. On a related subject, some people said my guitar sounds compressed when I play with a pick. Any suggestions how to mellow the solo? But I don't know what they meant by. They probably meant that you're getting a bad sound, not that it sounds compressed. I would be careful in interpreting what some guy at a bar says. Compressed means that you're losing dynamic range. If all your notes sound thin, then you're just getting a bad sound picking, and you need to re-examine the angle in which you're hitting the strings. Right? There's something about just being able to play lines that are rhythmic with your right hand and get a thick sound. I don't think it's an issue of compression, but you take a simple jazz line. You need to start. Do you guys remember when you smoke weed and you see the face that the phrases make? You know what I mean? When you listen to Wes Montgomery, it's like, oh my God, he's fucking talking to me, right? Blah, blah, blah. Or Django, it's like nasal, right? These perfect sounds are boring. They're not like, you don't want to like get, if you play like with a kind of, any sound you make makes a face, right? It's like a singer that's making, it's an expression. So if you're going for a Schofield sound, right? So you gotta, now when you get into that more round area of the guitar where it's not so caricature like, you gotta really start hearing the face that your notes make. Is it like an ooh? Is it an ah? You know what I mean? And then can you play phrases that keep that thing going? It's like there's not really good words to describe the face that makes other than the thing itself, but are you doing things that take it out of that place, right? Nobody, ah, right? It's like that. You don't want to do that. There's kind of a metallic thing, the way I'm kind of picking soft. Even you quit? All right. Well, you got to smoke some weed and ponder. Or if you're playing soft. Even if it's like a West thing with you. Right? Kind of got chesty. Right, your fingers sound different. Right, if you're playing fingerstyle, that's basically upstrokes. Right? It's a fleshy upstroke as opposed to a downstroke. On it, smoking weed right now. All right, so you're about to understand. Why am I breathing after every phrase? I don't know. That's first of all, I'm a heavy breather to start with, and I have no excuses. Just I'm fairly in shape, so I don't even know what the fuck's up with that. But yeah, I mean, there's something about kind of connecting your phrasing. You know, the bent. I'm really alert. I'm not like I have a real pet peeve with people who scat. It's not a coincidence that they call bear shit in the forest and singing solos the same thing. You know, it's terrible. And like when everybody's like, "What about Benson?" It's like, if you can sing like Benson, you should. But there's so many people who don't sing like Benson, who try, you know, it's like shit all over themselves. Even Keith Jarrett, you know, I don't even know the fuck's up with that guy. Whenever he does it, just sounds terrible. So yeah, I don't know why I breathe. Hey, A Camp, how are you today? A little off subject, but you strike to me like as a kind of guy who reads a lot. Do you? I don't read a lot. I read some. I go through phases. I just read some good books, though. I read 100 Years of Solitude. That was pretty good. Never read that before. Frank Gambala's wife, Scats. Well, that's probably why you know her as Frank Gambala's wife. I'm sure she has a name, too. But nobody knows it because she scats. And everybody hates scatting. Even people who claim to like it hate it. You know, again, Louis Armstrong, Ella Fitzgerald, I get it. That's cool. But again, it's just like now they do it like with the face. Like the, you know. Again, as an exercise, I'm all into it. I think it's great if you do it at home alone. You know what I mean? At the privacy of your home. But people really drag that to gig. Louis is great at it. I mean, again, he's fucking cool, you know. Again, if you can do it like that, scat into the toilet, that's right. Well, you know, it's kind of like the Bill Burr joke, you know, where like Michelle Obama is just like leaning into the frame. It's like nobody voted for you. Yeah, I feel the same way about like, you know, famous musicians' wives that just like, oh my God, she got the gig. She must be great. Or it's like, honey, are you going on the road? Is Dave Weckl playing drums? Oh, that sounds like fun. And you're going to just hire a singer? Why do you hire a singer? You already have a singer at home. It's like, all right, don't bring me. Suck your own dick. you doing? Here, I'll show you guys a trick on this song. This song is a really simple song. The A section just goes 1, 2, 5, 1 in D. So it's 1, D major, 2, E minor. And it's really like 2, 5, 2, 5, but I just think about it like 1, 2, 5, 1. And on that whole section, that's really on bar, it's bar 5 and 6. It's like the 1 chord for 1 and 2, the 2 chord for 3 and 4, and then here 5 and 6 is the 5 chord. You could really just play 4 minor, and that's a lot of what Django and people of the like do. It's the sound of that 4 minor chord over it, which gives you this harmonic minor kind of sound, but it's a substitution. It's a nice sound. So going from like playing a D major on the first chord, which is just D major scale, E Dorian on the second chord, then you have that A7, and on that you play a G minor, maybe with a 6, a G minor 6 arpeggio, and resolve it to the 1 chord. And you get lines that are like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. You can play just really G melodic minor also. That gives you a nice sound on it. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Whenever you have that A7 playing that G minor 6. Nice, right? Just a fan of the music, not a musician, but I love how you seamlessly blend the change from jazzy feel to a more rock-oriented playing on your albums. Thank you. Yeah, the jazz came later in my life. The rock is in my soul, deep down inside. I am an ape. It's just how it is. Not D minor, it's G, like I forgot all the words, like a game. I forgot all the words that start with G. Hey, Craig, how you doing, man? So it's a G minor over the A7. Definitely not a D minor 6 over D major. Do not play that. That will not work. again on this key, right? So this is in G. Whenever you have a 5 chord, substitution thinking. Here's a good definition of substitution thinking for all of you guys. First of all, the amazing thing about institutions like Berkeley, New School, all the online people is that they're experts at making it seem like it's something that you need to study for a long time to understand the secret rules, right? Like the amazing miracle of Berkeley is that they managed to teach harmony over 4 years as opposed to 4 weeks, because there's just not a lot to talk about. There's just 12 notes and the shit that comes out of it, right? But with substitutions, just think, if you're thinking about what substitutions are, there are 2 things you can do on a chord if you're trying to play a chord on a chord. You can play the chord, which is playing A7 on the A7, right? When A7 actually happens in the song, you play the notes of A7. That's called playing an arpeggio. Or you can play an arpeggio of anything else but that A7. That's called a substitution. Now, you can't just know all the substitutions, right? All the substitutions is not a thing, because each one sounds different, and some sound great, some sound okay, and some sound like shit. So you need to just memorize the ones that sound great in a particular situation. Here's one of them, right? And you have to find a way to make the connection. So let's say it's the 5 chord of the key in a major key, like a country song. And I'm in G, and I'm going 1, 5, 1. So when I have that 5 chord, I just go and play a 4 minor on it. So I can maybe, to start out memorizing it, just think about the root and just move it a whole step down to the 4 minor of the key. Or think about it like a minor chord a whole step under the 5 chord. Now, check out what those 3 notes of the triad give you. On that D7, it gives you that C, which is the flat 7. The E flat is the flat 2. And that G is the 4. And that's a weird sound, right? If you put the 6 too, that's a 6 of C minor, meaning make that a C minor 6 arpeggio. It's going to give you the 5 of that D. So you have, now it doesn't matter what those intervals are on the D, what matters is how it sounds, meaning when a D7 is played, you have this sound that you can use and then resolve it to G major. You're using it over the 5 chord, right? Now, in the context of moving harmony, like I have now in Dani, this is 2 measures of G going to 2 measures of D7. Or sorry, 4 measures of G going to 2 measures of D7 back to G. So on those 2 measures of D7, I'm going to just play a C minor arpeggio. So really in my mind, the progression is now G, 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 C minor, C minor, C minor, C minor, G. And it's going to work out, right? Well, do you have the sale of the transcriptions of the Marbin disc? Yeah, all the Marbin albums are transcribed. You can buy it on marbinmusic.bandcamp.com, either digital or physical. We have what we call the anthropology. I think that's the word. Anthology? No, anthology. Anthropology is a Charlie Parker tune. Anthology. Sorry, I'm an idiot. All right, but it sounds like this. Just played a G major 7. Now a C minor 6. Right? So that's that sound. That's one substitution that works on it. That gives you it comes from harmonic minor. It's cool, right? It's one sound that works. If you make that a minor 7 flat 5 instead of a minor 7, you get a different sound. Much more beboppy, right? What are those intervals, right? I'm making that C minor 6 that I played here, right, into a minor 7. Flat 5. But in the context of a D chord, that gives me the flat 7, the flat 2, the natural 3, and then this B flat on it is that flatted 6. If I can maybe go from a C minor 6 to that C minor 7, right? Just so C minor 6, and here's a C minor 7, flat 5, right? Maybe one measure of it each. So I'm gonna go Dinah, is there anybody finer in the state of Carolina? Ba-da-da-do-do-day. Right? Weird, but here it is as lines. So G major 7, C minor 6. Hear that? That's a C minor 7 arpeggio with nothing else, right? No secret sauce, just the arpeggio, but it's a substitution on that D. Now that's, you can ask yourself where that comes from. That comes from harmonic minor. Both of them do, from that harmonic minor 5 below. So it's another way of mapping out a mode. Like a mode includes all the substitutions that are hiding in it. A C minor 7 flat 5 chord is the same as playing a minor 6 chord, a flatted third up. So really, if I'm thinking about it as minor 6 arpeggios, I can think about C minor 6 going to E flat minor 6. So whatever C minor 6 line I'm teaching myself, over that D7, I can play that same line 3 frets up on an E flat. And that would sound like I just played, but you know, symmetrically. Now I'm going to start with that E flat minor 6. Yeah, that E flat minor 6 comes from melodic minor also. The C minor 6 comes just from harmonic minor. It's basically giving you a D-altered sound. You could think about it as either. So yeah, but you are correct, Quarter Walker. Good catch. But yeah, you have, there's the hidden chord in harmonic minor that they don't tell you about. If I have G harmonic minor, and I stack it in triads, there's two things that I find that are strange. One thing is that the 6th degree, I get a major 7 chord that can also be a minor major 7 chord, meaning it has a sharp 9 in it. But a sharp 9 in this context, if I replace the 3rd, I get basically an E major 7 and an E minor major 7. It's accidentally there, right? And I can also make a 6th chord in there. So on the 4th degree too, right? The thing that comes out of the mode is a minor 7 chord, but I also can play a minor 7 flat 5 because that sharp 11 is just like a flat 5. So G minor, right, has that G harmonic minor, has that sound for the 4 chord. If you listen to Piazzolla, right, hey, Argentina, I was just saying Piazzolla, small world, right? He always uses that trick, like it's the darkest sound in it. What you really hear a lot of in Piazzolla's music, and if you listen to Marbin, we got it from him a lot. We have a song called Carnival, and when you see a flat 6 chord and it goes from a minor major 7 to a major 7, or a minor major 7 down to the 5 chord, that's coming all from harmonic minor, like G harmonic minor, and then this sound. Kind of sounds like Astor. So a lot of those kind of progressions, but using those interesting parts of harmonic minor to pivot, to sidestep the harmony. Dark City Rain. Ah, I see Deacon's High too. Love it. Make it smoky. That's my favorite thing for a singer to tell me. Can you make it smoky? It's like, yeah, I sure can. Smoky enough, bitch. Happy Passover, everybody. Is it because I'm Jewish? No, okay. Stay away from that chametz. All right. Is it often why I have to go back and listen later? I hate all these electric guitars with extra strings. They always sound so dead to me. What am I missing? Maybe I'm too old to get it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, that fucking dude. I forget his name. Black guy with the funny hair. Tosin Obasi. He is certainly, as you know, making that stuff very popular, which, I feel like he really likes Victor Wooten, and every year he gets another string to try to make his guitar more like a bass. And I think it's a great move. It's very efficient. It's metal people realizing, why do we have bassists? They're just playing our riffs an octave below. We can, just the same way. It's very efficient. It's very efficient. That's right. I have a theory that I love repeating, so I'm going to repeat it again and again and again. I think that Animals as Leaders started the soundtrack for school shootings. I think that school shooters, it just makes so much sense to me. They have their little AR-15 and backpack and hoodie, and then they put the headphones on and they put Animals as Leaders, and it's just rhythmic. Right? Them and Meshuggah, they really, yeah. So that's my theory about that kind of music. I think that's what it's for. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Dani, could you talk about how you approach tunes with 2 chords per bar, like rhythm changes? Sure. Yeah, that's kind of like the hardest thing about jazz, right? So let's put a rhythm changes. The truth is that you need to figure out stuff that works over. You see, they like it. We can laugh together. Rhythm changes. So you could get so lost in playing the tempo that you forget about the harmony, and you forget about the fact that you need to make phrases that are 4 measures long too, like a jazz song. So it's almost like you have to first of all learn how to ignore the changes and make a phrase, like right. That was the first 4 measures. So I'm trying not. If you try to hit all the changes and play straight 8th notes, all your lines are going to sound the same because there's not so many ways. Oh, that's awesome. Turn around. When you hear Charlie Parker playing over rhythm changes, there's a lot of his playing that just kind of sounds in the key, but you need to learn how to simplify the changes, right? So here's a rhythm change, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 6, 2. First of all, learning how to tap in halftime on 1 and 3, right? So to where every foot tap you change chord. You see my leg with this camera? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm relaxed. I'm in this place. Those 8th notes are 16th notes. Now I don't want to just play quarter notes. I want to be able to actually just hold time here, but like make like slow. 1, 2, 3, 4. So first of all, it's learning how to feel those changes. So to me, it's not here, right? Because once you get up there, that disappears. You can't play like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. you get that, like, you know, rigor mortis shit happening, and that's not good for you. So once you can relax into it, meaning really feel each chord as kind of like a, you know, or whatever it is, like bum 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 dun 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 ba 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 dun 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 ba 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 bum ah ba 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 bum 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 bum. That's not so anxious, right? And do but the day but it boom boom. So you can hear melodies on that, not on where's the time? Gotta throw chords in, you know. So that's the first step. After that, it's just learning how to actually navigate those changes, which aren't that complicated. Okay, so the real sound you're hearing is, when you're hearing bebop rhythm changes, is everybody making up their own version of the changes. But the changes are super standardized and they go by quick. So you need to have vocabulary with any version of a 1-6-2-5, and you don't really need to coordinate the band to play it. So the big things you need to learn, first of all, if you look at like the way a rhythm changes is put together, is a 1-6-2-5. That's measure 1 and 2. It's also measure 3 and 4, and it's also basically measure 7 and 8. Now, what you need to learn then, what to play over measure 5 and 6, which is the hard part. So it could be a couple of things, but not too many things, right? It's either the 5 of 4, meaning like if you're in the key of B flat, a B flat 7 for all of measure all of measure 5, or it's a 2-5 like F minor B7, or it's some sort of variation like a B7, B flat 7, something that leads into that, or it's some way of getting to the 4 chord. Now the downbeat of measure 6 is always the 4 chord, and then the second half of that could be a few things. It could be 4 minor, it could be flat 7 7, so it could be E flat minor or A flat 7, which are the same thing, just different roots. It's melodic minor. Or it could be a diminished chord, like E diminished, and that's kind of like the Oscar Peterson type, more gospel-y variation of a rhythm changes. So when you hear like do 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 de ba 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 ba, and then here do do. Already it's like do 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 ba ba do 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 bo. That thing. That's one. Oh, sorry. Yeah, one chord, one first inversion. You could just play half diminished, right? 4, and then sharp 4 diminished. 1 with 5 in the bass. That kind of thing. Now, or you can do something nicer. Lead the top of it a little bit nicer, like do 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 da, that's just B flat, D half diminished, which is like B flat first inversion, do, E flat, do, D, E diminished with B flat on top, and then just 2 5 1 B, da, di, da, da. So to make a line that goes through that harmony, how would you do? Well, just do it out of time. Put it together. Right? Right? So that was going through that kind of harmony. Now let's change the chords, right? Now instead of playing 4, like one first inversion, 4 sharp 4 diminished, I'm gonna do an F minor B7, really like a 2 5 to the 4 chord. But I'm gonna make, but I want to keep maybe the same kind of voice leading. Do da do. Now 4, instead of going to that sharp 4 diminished, I'm gonna go to 4 minor. So it's gonna be like a dum ba bum. Maybe. That's not a great melody. Maybe. That's a nice one. Like, or that's a nice one. Like an F minor 11, B flat 7, and then E flat major 7, E flat minor 7. So now I have dee do do do, be do 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 do, right? Do 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 do, and so that's that part in the rhythm changes, like F minor, B flat 7, E flat major 7, E flat minor major 7 or minor 6. That's a nicer sound. Now arpeggiate those things, right? Maybe play a B, like an F minor. That's that F minor. So yeah, A flat 7, I would never call it a flat 5. Sharp 11 is the same thing as that E flat minor 6 with just a different root. So to me, that's the same. It's the same scale. They're both E flat melodic minor. So right? context, like let's say another thing that's really nice to do is, you have a 1 6 2 5, 1 6 2 5. A 1 6 2 5 could easily turn to a 3 6 2 5, 3 6 2 5, D half diminished or D minor. That's also a big difference, right? D minor 7, G7, C minor 7, F7 is really different than D half diminished, G7, C minor, D7. But let's say it's D minor 7, not D half diminished. That kind of thing. I can use a chord that leads to that D minor, but the question is what do I have to do to get there? So 1 6 2. Now instead of the 5 chord, right? The 5 chord leads me to 1, but if I'm going to the 3 minor next, I want the 5 of 3. So it's now, instead of going B flat, G7, C minor, F, I'm going to go B flat, G7, C minor, A7, and now that 3 6 2 5. Now, that's maybe not something you want to do in the bass, but it's certainly something you can do in your solo. And that's a sound we know. It's very voice-led. It's going. Right, that. Right, yeah, sorry. Right? That kind of thing. Right, so yeah, that's C sharp leading. You could use C sharp diminished. Take it to 1 9. I don't know what that means. So, but that's a different way of thinking about the same kind of, to cram in harmony, finding ways to play 3 6 2 5s on the guitar. 3 2, that's 3 6. If I want to make that instead of 3 minor 7 flat 5, it's a totally different line. Right? A lot of the sound when you're hearing like these, Charlie Parker and people play those songs in 300 BPM, and it's just like these sounds like waves of and you're like, how is he coming up with this? Well, they're just arpeggiating possible harmonies that end up substituting that harmony, right? So you just take a set of like what you have written on the page, like 1 6 2 5, 1 6 2 5. That's one set of harmony that's possible, and you can figure out some lines that do that, like a straight up 1 6 2 5, B flat, G7, C minor, F7 sounds like this. Just gonna do that. And I'm just practicing playing basically 4 notes in each. Now the truth is, when you have harmony also that's moving two beats per chord, you can already start playing the next chord, the second half of the bar, after you just hit that first chord. Meaning, think about the harmonic rhythm when you're playing chords, right? Here's just playing straight up rhythm, but I can go right like or the other way. That's probably more Like 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. So I can also linger longer in the chords just the same way that in the lines. Like. So I'm playing the stuff from that chord just for a very slight bit or for a long bit. Like I can play very shortly on B flat and then play the G7 much longer. Like da ba da 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 da. But I'm going to end this by saying I hate playing rhythm changes. I really do. I hate that. It sucks. It's hard and it sucks. But yeah, I'll play some. Rhythm changes, giant steps. It's like your psychology trying to like confront that bully that gave you a wedgie. It's like I'm gonna go to the gym and find them when we're like 46. Why does harmonic minor sound odd on F7 to B flat? Because harmonic minor is a tool that's used to lead into major sounds. That the flat 6 does not behave well unless it's kind of in an altered context. Altered is really the choice, or diminished, half-whole diminished. So yeah, that's why. But yeah, giant steps is a real similar story.
Where do you find balance?
To that
power
thing.
Strength.
I never worked
Maybe
it
it's
up
a
actually to play giant steps like real fast. But working through the harmony, it's the same kind of thing you got to. typing on the laptop, your left hand looked like you're the Lord of the Rings, or should I say the Lord of the Strings. I do have a string inside my ring, so yeah. But yeah, it's... You're welcome, Andres. All right, well, I guess I'll play some tunes. Oh, crap. There we go. Boo-doo-doo-doo. Confessing that I love you. Tell me, do you love me too? I'm confessing that I need you. Honest, I do need you every hour. In your eyes I read such strange things, but your lips deny their truth. Will your answer really change things? You're making me blue. Oh, I'm afraid someday you'll leave me, saying, can't we still be friends? When you go, you know you'll grieve me. All my life on you depends. Am I guessing that you love me? Dreaming dreams of you in vain. I'm confessing that I need you over again. Confessing that I love you. Tell me, do you love me too? I'm confessing that I need you. Honest, I do need you every hour. In your eyes I read such strange things, but your lips deny their truth. Will your answer really change things? You're making me blue. I'm afraid someday you'll leave me, saying, can't we still be friends? When you go, you know you'll grieve me. All my life on you depends. Am I guessing that you love me? Dreaming dreams of you in vain. I'm confessing that I need you over again. thanks, Neil. Yeah, I do my best. Your vocals is an acquired taste. Yeah, I hope some people like it. I don't know, man. It's going to take me some time to acquire a taste for it because I really despise it. But I'm not gonna give up. So, fuck it. I'm sorry I have to torture you guys with it though. Stars shining bright above you. Night breezes seem to whisper, I love you. Birds singing in the sycamore tree. Dream a little dream of me. Say nighty-night and kiss me. Just hold me tight and tell me you'll miss me. While I'm alone and blue as can be. Dream a little dream of me. Stars fading, but I linger on, dear. Still craving your kiss. I'm planning to linger till dawn, dear. Just saying this. Sweet dreams till sunbeams find you. Sweet dreams that leave our worries behind you. But in your dreams, whatever they be, dream a little dream of me. Hold me close and hold me fast. The magic spell you cast, it is La Vie en Rose. When you hold me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see La Vie en Rose. When you press me to your heart, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when we kiss, angels sing from above. Everyday dreams into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be La Vie en Rose. I was reading the message in dreams. Made it into the lyric. hold me fast, the magic spell you cast, it is love the unrose. When you hold me, heaven sighs, and though I close my eyes, I see love the unrose. When you do-do-do-dee-doo, I'm in a world apart, a world where roses bloom. And when we kiss, angels sing from above. Everyday words seem to turn into love songs. Give your heart and soul to me, and life will always be la vie en rose. What's up, Amber? These headphones are starting to hurt my ears. Glasses are coming off. This suspense is killing me. I can't take uncertainty. Tell me now, I've got to know whether you want me to stay or go. Love me or leave me, let me be lonely. You won't believe me, but I want you only. I'd rather be lonely than happy with somebody new. You might find the nighttime the right time for kissing. Nighttime is my time for just reminiscing, remembering instead of forgetting with somebody new. There'll be no one unless that someone is you. I intend to be independently blue. I want your love and I don't want to borrow, to have it today just to give back tomorrow. Your love is my love, is no love for nobody new. There'll be no one unless that someone is you. I intend to be independently blue. I want your love and I don't want to borrow, to have it today and give back tomorrow. Your love is my love, is no love for nobody new. Anybody else ever have to break wind on strange and scared someone by somehow here? Not shabby. I'm doing good. The evening breeze embraced the trees tenderly. The trembling trees caressed the breeze tenderly. And I came wandering by, and lost in a sigh were we. The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms opened wide and closed me inside. You took my lips, you took my heart so tenderly. The sea was kissed by shore and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms opened wide and closed me inside. took my lips, you took my heart so tenderly. I believe that every great musician is striving to improve. When I see musicians like you, it gets hard for me to imagine if there's anywhere. Dude, I'm singing like every third note in tune. There's plenty to improve there. But I believe that there has to be something beyond our imagination. Yeah, well, dude, like the guitar is filled with blind spots for everybody. You just, it's just, you gotta be in a perspective where you see what you don't know. Because once you're traveling this little tightrope that you have control over, that's great. But like, how many times can you do this thing back and forth until it's time to like kind of throw it towards another building, you know? So you gotta learn new shit all the time, or you just get sick of yourself. That's really what happens. And if you get sick of yourself, most people just kind of become bitter and resentful over time, and that's not good. Hey, yeah, I'm getting some of them, but yeah, I know wrong notes are not good, and until they're all gone, I will not be happy. Might take a few years though. Bear with me. I'm old-fashioned. I love the moonlight. I love the old-fashioned things. The sound of rain upon my window pane, the starry song that April sings. This year's fancies are passing fancies, but sighing sighs, holding hands, these my heart understands. I'm old-fashioned, but I don't mind it. That's how I'd like to be, as long as you agree to stay old-fashioned with me. I love the moonlight. I love the old-fashioned things. The sound of rain upon my window pane, the starry song that April sings. This year's fancies are passing fancies, but sighing sighs, holding hands, these my heart understands. I'm old-fashioned, but I don't mind it. That's how I'd like to be, as long as you agree to stay old-fashioned with me. Check it out. Never knew he could sing. My heart is sad and lonely. For you I sigh, for you, dear, only. Why haven't you seen it? I'm all for you, body and soul. I spend each day in longing, wondering why it's me who's wronging. I swear that I mean it. I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it, it's hard to conceive it, how you'd turn away romance. Are you pretending it feels like the ending, unless I could have one more chance to prove, dear, my life a wreck you're making? You see me here, ripe for the taking. I'll surrender completely. I'm all for you, body and soul. I can't believe it, it's hard to conceive it, how you'd turn away romance. Are you pretending it feels like the ending, unless I could have one more chance to prove, dear, my life a wreck you're making? You see me here, ripe for the taking. I'll surrender completely. I'm all for you, body and soul. I wonder what big frets would sound like on a big body jazz guitar. These are pretty big frets. They're pretty jumbo. Ever consider doing session work? I do them when I'm called, but I'm not called often. I don't think people have the imagination of how to use me a lot of the time. You know, people wanting guitar tracks. I have a lot of friends that can do it generally. but it does happen. People it's like play solo on my album, so I was like, okay. I appreciate it, Deacon. I actually was working on an old song that I've been writing, but it's going to be a while till I finish it. I wrote a lot of these jazz songs back in the day, back in my day, but never really recorded them yet. But I have this one that goes. I forget how it goes. That's it. The empty street is dimly lit. The sky, with moonlight that keeps fainting. The diner down the block looks like that famous Hopper painting, and I will walk, but there's no place I'm going to, adrift aboard another sleepless night. The tears that dried, the dreams that died, the thoughts I tried to bury are souvenirs that feed the gloomy feeling I still carry. And me, I walk across the soundless avenue, adrift aboard another sleepless night. Something like that. I'll finish it one day. But yeah, the melody's nice. All right. We're going to figure out that one later. See you guys. I love getting high with you.